Let me ask you something up front. Have you ever come across a story so tragic, so unfair, so utterly disturbing that it sticks with you long after you read about it? Like you can't get it out of your head, no matter how hard you try? That's exactly how I felt when I came across the story of Kei'Mani Latigue, a young black woman whose death didn't just slip through the cracks of the justice system, it was buried under them. What happened to Kei'Mani isn't just heartbreaking, it's enraging. And the deeper you look into it, the more it becomes clear. This wasn't just a tragedy, it was a failure on every level. So let's talk about it. Really talk about it. Because Kei'Mani deserves more than silence. She deserves justice. She deserves to be remembered. Who was Kei'Mani Latigue? Kei'Mani wasn't a celebrity. She wasn't someone the media followed closely. She was, in many ways, just like so many of us, a 22-year-old with a bright spirit, a loud laugh, and dreams that stretched far beyond what the world could immediately see. She had a passion for beauty, fashion, and living out loud. By all accounts, she was vibrant, warm, and full of that kind of light you only find in the most genuine souls. But as beautiful as her spirit was, Kei'Mani was also a black woman in America, which meant she carried with her the weight of being unheard, unseen, and unprotected by the systems that should have stood by her side. And in the end, that silence, that invisibility, cost her everything. Where's her? What happened to her? On February 24th, 2023, Kei'Mani was found unresponsive and naked on a stranger's porch in Las Vegas. She had visible injuries. She was clearly in distress. And yet, what followed wasn't immediate help or care. It wasn't outrage or justice. It was dismissal. She was taken to a hospital but passed away later from her injuries. To this day, her cause of death is listed as undetermined, despite signs that suggest something much darker was at play. Let that sink in. A young woman is found battered, stripped, barely clinging to life, and no one seems to know what happened. No one is held accountable. Even worse, it took nearly 2 months for her family to be notified that she had died. 2 whole months. Imagine losing your child and not even knowing she's gone. Imagine having to piece together the last hours of her life, like a puzzle no one wants to help you solve. That's not just neglect. That's cruelty. The glaring red flags. When you dig into the timeline, and let me tell you, you don't have to dig far. Red flags start flashing like sirens. Kei'Mani had gone to Las Vegas with her friend, but according to her family, she ended up staying with a man she barely knew. Not long after, she began acting strangely, sending cryptic messages to loved ones, and even trying to leave the house barefoot, a clear sign that something wasn't right. It's also been reported that she made multiple attempts to get help, including asking to be taken to a hospital. Instead of help, she was ignored. And eventually, she left that house alone and afraid, only to collapse on someone's porch and die hours later. Now, here's the part that will make your blood boil. No one has been charged. No one has been arrested. No clear answers have been provided. It's like the world decided Kei'Mani's life didn't matter, and we're not going to let that stand. The family speaks out. Kei'Mani's family has been fighting like hell to get attention on her case. Her mother, her sisters, and her loved ones have been pushing for answers, for media coverage, for justice. But the response has been chillingly quiet, and this is where the conversation gets uncomfortable. Because we've seen this pattern before, haven't we? When a young black woman is missing or dies under suspicious circumstances, the media often stays silent. The authorities are slow to act. The public interest is muted, unless someone makes enough noise to force the spotlight. But let's be real. We shouldn't have to scream to be seen. Our pain shouldn't have to be performative for it to matter. Kei'Mani's life had value. Her story matters. And her family shouldn't be the only ones demanding answers. They've launched petitions, spoken to local outlets, and taken to social media to get people to care. But it shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't take this much to get basic human dignity. The system is failing Black women. This isn't just about Kei'Mani, although she should be at the center of this conversation. It's about a much bigger, systemic failure that we have to name if we're going to fix it. Black women go missing at disproportionately high rates. In the US, yet we get a fraction of the media coverage. We're more likely to be victims of violence, but our stories rarely make the headlines. And when we do die under suspicious circumstances, the investigation is often half-here, at best, and non-existent at worst. This is not a coincidence. It's a pattern. It's the result of a system that doesn't see Black women as worthy of the same protection, the same outrage, the same empathy that others receive. Kei'Mani is one of far too many, but she deserves to be the last. What can be done? So here's the question that always comes up when we talk about injustice. What now? What can we actually do? First, we keep her name alive. Don't let her story get buried under the next news cycle. Don't let it fade like so many others have. Talk about her, post about her, share her story. The more people who know, the harder it is for the system to ignore. Second, we demand accountability. That means putting pressure on the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, local government officials, and national media outlets to take this seriously. Ask the hard questions. Why hasn't anyone been arrested? Why is the case still unresolved? Why did it take so long to notify her family? Third, support her family. There are GoFundMe pages, petitions, and advocacy efforts that are all trying to bring justice for Kei'Mani. If you can donate, do it. If not, share those links. Every little action matters when you're up against a wall of silence. And finally, we keep the bigger conversation going. Kei'Mani's case may be the spark, but the fire needs to burn through the whole system. Because until Black women are treated with the same urgency, the same care, and the same attention as everyone else, none of us are safe. This shouldn't be normal. I wish I could end this with good news. I wish I could tell you justice has been served, that her killer is behind bars, that her family has closure. But I can't. Not yet. What I can tell you is this. We are not powerless. Our voices, our platforms, our stories, they matter. They always have. And right now, Kei'Mani Latigue's story is a call to action. A call to break the silence. A call to refuse to let another Black woman's life be erased without consequence. Because it could have been your sister, your cousin, your best friend. Maybe even you. And if we don't stand up for Kei'Mani now, we're telling the world it's okay to keep letting this happen. So let's not be quiet. Let's not be still. Let's not forget. Say her name, share her story, demand justice. And if you want to be part of a community that refuses to let these stories go untold, subscribe to this channel. We're not just here to talk, we're here to hold the system accountable.